from the Mountain to Sea Trail. I am in North Carolina outside of Durham, and I thought I would tell you today about my top 5 favorite trail name stories. So if you don't know what a trail name is, a quick explanation. So when you are out through hiking, a lot of people will adopt a trail name. Some people don't, but most people do. So some people will give themselves their own trail name. It's not typically acceptable, or a lot of people don't accept it. Probably because there's too many people that are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna try and give myself a really cool name. Like, that's not quite in the heart of it. But I mean, I don't really care too much. I do have a friend who named himself Thankful because he wanted to remind himself to always be thankful for the opportunity that he was actually getting to go out and be on a thru hike. So most trail names actually, or at least a good amount, come from what you're wearing. Like, oh, a guy has pineapples on his shirt. His trail name is now Pineapple. I mean, it does make it easier when it's like, oh, have you seen Pineapple? Even if you didn't, specifically catch his name, you know who everyone's talking about. But some people get their names from something they've done. So some sort of story gave them their name. So that's what I'm going to retell you today. The story of my top 5 trail name stories. So in 5th place, Mega Bear. So I met this group of hikers that were hiking together. Like, they were all friends, and one of the girls in the group had stopped and was looking at the tree. And, this tree looks normal, but the tree was like breaking apart, and it had marks on it going like all the way up the tree. And she was trying to explain to her friends that those were scratches from bears. Like, bears were scratching the trees to mark their territory. And the friends were looking all the way up and like, those are scratches. Those are like 100-foot long scratches. That would have to be some mega bear that's creating that. Like, no, that's just part of the tree. So she ended up being dubbed Mega Bear. Okay, so in 4th place, Mouseketeer. So when I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail and I made it into the Smokies, I stopped for the night at one of the shelters, and there was quite the group of people all there getting ready to stay in the shelter. And 2 people that were there was a dad and his daughter. The daughter looked to be around, I think she was probably around 10 years old. And, she was doing her best, just trying to be in a good mood, keep up with her dad, and, just have fun. And so we all settled down for the night in the shelter. I ended up sleeping like right next to her. Everyone got all comfy in their sleeping bags, and then the mice came out. And the mice were running all over everyone. People were crunching like, it ran over me. It ran over me. And she was just, the poor little girl was just so tense. And was just, where is it? Trying to stay away from the mice. So the next morning, I was like, you did such a good job. You braved out the night with the mice. I think you deserve the name Mouseketeer. Just felt fitting for, a child. And she's like, I'd like that. And her dad liked it too. And so she adopted the name Mouseketeer. In 3rd place, Some Guy. I was just coming out of Big Bear City. A trail angel was dropping me off at the trailhead when 2 more hikers came out of the woods. And I'm like, great, a trail angel. Now we can get a ride into town. So he stopped and was talking to the 2 of them and to the trail angel. And one of the guys was talking about the other guy and was like, he doesn't have a trail name yet, but I've come up with 3 possible names. So he said the first one, he said the second one, and then he said the third one is Some Guy. It's just like, that's a really weird name. Like, it took me so much by surprise that I completely forgot the first 2 names already. Just completely out of my mind. Like, it's just like, he's just some random guy, Like, what kind of a name is that? So we talked for a few minutes as they were loading up their stuff into the car. And then, went to say goodbye and I said, bye to the trail angel, bye to the other guy. And then I couldn't remember the other 2 trail names that were possibly given to him. So it was just like, bye, some guy. And they just started laughing, like, I guess that's your trail name now. And he ended up keeping that trail name. Like, I saw him a few days later, and sure enough, he kept the name Some Guy. And it ended up being really fitting for him. Not just because he was some, random guy, but he was a really good hiker. In second place, Sporks. So I met and hiked quite a bit with Sporks on the CDT. But she got her trail name on the AT. So, Appalachian Trail. So, when she got ready to hike the Appalachian Trail, it was going to be her very first thru hike. And she went to buy herself a spork. And so I think she was looking online, and there was a pack of sporks. I can't remember if it was like 5 or 6. I'll just say pack of 5. The pack of 5 was cheaper than buying just one spork. So she bought the multi-pack, and then she packed all 5 sporks on the trail. She brought 5 sporks on the Appalachian Trail, which everyone thought was kind of funny. But then as people slowly either lost their spore, their eating utensil, or broke it, she was like, well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Just give them a spork. So that's how she got the trail name Sporks. And as for my number 1 favorite trail name story, Sheriff. Sheriff's very first day on the PCT. Like, she got dropped off at the trailhead, started from the monument, headed north, hiked all day, got to the campground with all the other hikers, and so she put up her tent and went to sleep. But she forgot something. She forgot to check in with her mom that evening. So she, around midnight or so, the sheriff came walking through the campground, calling out her name, looking for her, because her mom called the sheriff to go looking for her. She was so embarrassed, she refused to say anything, and the next day everyone was making fun of her, calling her Sheriff. So that's how she got her name, Sheriff. So if you're wondering how I got my trail name, it's not nearly as exciting of a story. When I first started hiking in Australia, we were, long distance hiking, we were required to wear our gaiters. And they were tall gaiters, they go up almost to our knees. And so when I came back to the US, I just continued doing that. I liked how they, protected me from stinging nettle, poison ivy. They, kept my legs covered, but I still had more airflow than pants. So I just kept wearing them. But everyone else thought they were snow gaiters. They're like, why? Why are you wearing such humongous gaiters? Wear them with shorts. And I was like, this is just what I'm used to. This is what I like. But everyone else was like, no, I don't know what else to call you, but I just keep looking at your gaiters, so you should call yourself Gator, but spell it like the animal because that's cooler. Okay, I'll take it. I like it. So I am named after my gaiters. I don't typically wear those ones anymore, but I just spelled like the animal, and guess what? Since then, now I have gator gaiters. These make me so happy. Yep, so those are my top 5 favorite trail name stories. If you have any favorite ones, I would love to hear them, especially if they are funny. So feel free to comment and let me know what they are. Bye!